You guys, I can tell you, are in a really great place as 2023 comes to an end and we head into 24 to create effective, profitable, winning strategies. The tools out there have never been better. I can tell you, 30 years ago when I first started, this sort of stuff that you can get your hands on would cost an absolute fortune, even if it was available to even to the professionals. It's taken a lot of technology changes to be able to deliver this type of quality product to your desktop and allow you to build out strategies until you are blue in the face with ideas. They're just waiting for you to discover. Now in this video I'm going to look at my favorite chart. It's Renko charts. Now again, back in the day, this was seen as an exotic chart along with Kagi, line break, that sort of thing. You would not have been able to get your hands on it. Like I said, any technical analysis package now, you'll be able to click on it and find these type of charts. And also what you can do is add in what I call Western indicators on top of those type of charts and create highly effective strategies. And that's what this video is all about. Now, I'm going to be using TradingView as the examples, but most packages, charting packages will allow you to do this. The same with the indicators I'm using. They're all going to be available. You can create them yourself off the back of this video. But we're going to go through 8 that I use most in combination with the Renko charts that have proved very successful for me. And you can take them away, play around with them, put them into combinations, do what you want, test them out, see how they work for you. But I can tell you these 8 are my favorites, the ones I use the most. There are others. Let me know in the comments below if you use others not included in this video. I'd like to hear your thoughts, and if you've got any favorites out there, please do let me know. But for this video, like I said, 8 that I use the most. I'm going to just quickly show you how you could start to think about using them in combination with the Renko chart. So with that, let's get stuck in. Now, if you're new to Renko charts and you want to learn more, then great playlist I've got on the channel covers all you need to know about Renko charts. Coming up there at the top of your screen. Follow the channel, subscribe, and you'll get further content around technical analysis, trading, all that sort of thing. Please explore the channel and give us a thumbs up as well if you like the video and other videos and content that I'm producing. So with that, let's get into the 8. First up, we have the stochastic indicator. So like I said in the introduction, I'm going to be using TradingView as the charting package tool for illustrating these 8, and I'm also going to be using the S&P E-mini futures contract for the example. We're not really worried about block size, how the actual Renko works. We're looking at how we can add indicators on top of this price information. So we're going to start, like I said, with the stochastic. Easy to add to the charts here. Just go up to your indicators. I've got some favorites saved already. Stochastics is added there. Now this is the stochastics raw. You can do lots of different things with this. I like to first of all use particular settings. You can play around with your own until you are happy with what you got, but I like to use a 533 in this example here. And let's just color that so it's a bit clearer and visible too. Let's have let's go green for that one. Let's make it a bit thicker, and let's have let's go red there again. Let's make it a bit thicker so we can see what's going on. Let's get rid of the background. There we go. Right, let's just stretch that out so we can see a bit more clearly what's happening. Let's build the price. So as you know, standard stochastic rules, when they cross, like we see they're down at the bottom, we get a nice entry signal, and again to the downside. Now this is the beauty of Renko charts. It does make these turning points very clear. So stochastics, a great tool. Like I said, play with the sizes. You can even take away, sometimes I even take away the percentage D and just use, when it crosses say the 20 and the 80, you'll back down as the the guide, or maybe you want it crossing the 50. You know, as you can see, you know, just on its own there with the percentage K, it comes down through there, you know, and we get the turn in the price. So that is stochastics. Then we move on to something called Bollinger Bands. You might be familiar with them already in their usual context, but I do something that is called the offset, and that works, I think, far better with Renko charts. So what is that? We get into the detail there. Let's just make the bands a bit clearer. We don't need the middle. Now you see in the inputs you have the length, that's the length of the look back periods, that's 20 blocks here. We've got a standard deviation of 2, and then we've got this bit here called offset. Now this is what I like to play with. If you notice, if you use the offset functionality, you can get lovely breakout setups. So for example, use a 10 in there. You can create a setup, but as it breaks out you get more distinct breakouts, and say when it comes back in you might want to close the trade. So in and out, I like to go a bit more aggressive. You can play around, like I said, with the inputs. 10-1-5 there, you get an even better looking system. You know, more points, more blocks for you to play with. And you might let's say here, go in, and you use that as your exit. Doesn't quite get there, you stay in the trade, you follow it up, and you get out there, you get back in. You know, just an example there of how to use the Bollinger Bands. Now another similar concept to the Bollinger Band is the Donchian bands, and I again use the offset functionality, and as you can see it does make breakouts really nice and clear. You know, the Renko chart, like I said, is beautiful for this type of strategy. Now going into the let's get into the detail of the settings on the Donchian. If I can get into it, there we go. Again, play around with the numbers. This one version is in Russian. You can type it in Donchian offset. Maybe you want a less aggressive one, go 5-2 for example. It's about, you know, finding the strategy for you, and also don't just go blind into it. Do test it, you know, back test it, forward test it, you know, before you go live. You want a slower breakout setup, maybe use 30-15, you know, for longer term trends. You know, just some ideas for you there. But again, Donchian bands very good on the Renko chart. Then we have one of the most popular indicators around at the moment, that's the Fibonacci. And again, this is a really powerful tool for Renko, because remember, Renko's getting rid of that noise, so we can see the price action much more clearly, and the support and resistance levels. So let's just take a little example. We've got the S&P, it's been climbing up nicely. Let's put on the Fibonacci from that high to the low, and again straight away we're seeing this key sort of price zone area around 4,500, 4,550. You know, we've got, you know, multiple touches there around 4,500. It really does stand out, and then again 4,400, early 4,400s there in that trend. And again to the upside on that as well, it's banging its head there, and then the breakout on up to those highs. So Fibonacci, again, really powerful tool. I've also got on the channel in the Renko playlist how you can use Fibonacci in a lot more detail. There's a lot more to it than this. Again, that could help come up with some new strategy ideas for you. Now this is an indicator you might not have heard so much about. It's called Darvas Box, and again on the channel I've got a whole course about how this worked. But this guy was a retail amateur trader, made millions by coming up with his own tool, and that's the Darvas Box. And it is a great trend sort of building tool, also good for risk management, putting your stops in at certain places. It's a bit of a maybe a longer term type play, and as you can see the S&P been moving up, but we buy when it breaks out these tops. You know, that one maybe not so great, but we put our stops in below the bands, and we can also trail those stops up, you know, those different levels, and we can add, you know, units of risk, you know, as we build up this trade as the trend continues. So Darvas Box, a great tool. Again, let's have a quick look at the settings. Here I've got a box length of 8. Play around with that number as well. You can change the colours, there's not much to it really. More the box length. Have a play, back test, see what you get. Then we have the directional movement indicators. So we go up to the top again to the indicators. Let's find the directional movement index. We add it on. Now I use a modified version. I don't use the ADX. I get rid of that. This is more like a crossover type play. And let's change these settings. Let's make them more colourful and easier to see. Here we go. It's all about, like I said, this DI length. So let's play around with some numbers just to see, just for an example to show you. For example, we could say that we could use this as a trend example in combination with other indicators. You might have your stochastics for the timing. Here, as you can see down the bottom, we've got this cross. We just used a 50 period, and we could say if the green is over the red there, the DI, that's the DI plus there, the DI minus below, we could say everything is positive, and we're looking for bullish trades. Add in the stochastics, and then every time you get a bullish trade, you know, you're buying in like so. But you can see there it was a real nice cross before moving on up, and then again play around with the numbers on the DI until you're happy. You know, the traditional setting is 14 on there. Does that work? Doesn't it work? Test it out. Let's remove those things. You know, you can pick up, you know, it's a bit more whipsawy if you use the smaller number there. As you can see, you get this type of zone in here. So other indicators in combination might be useful, but you can see that cross and the price shooting on up. So number 7 is the awesome oscillator, and again I use a slightly different version to the traditional. Let's add that on. As you can see, it normally comes up in this histogram type format with a switch between the 0 level. I do something a bit different. We change those settings, we turn it to a line chart. Let's make that thicker so you can see, and it'll all become obvious. Right, so this is what we do. We use the change in the colour to determine the trend. So when it goes from bullish to bearish, as you can see, we got a bullish switch there from red to green, and that ties in very nicely there. And if you followed it back, you would see the same process. So this is based on the closing price. It's sort of similar to the MACD in theory. So you could use that in combination with something different like the stochastic again, which is more of an ATR based tool. Remember the rule of collinearity. I've got a playlist, video on that on the channel as well. Always important to know when you're setting up your technical analysis indicators. But the awesome oscillator, very good for looking at that trend as well, the change in the trend, and you know, like I said, you can use it as a signal to get in when things change, you know, in direction, or like I said, put it in combination with other indicators. And finally, we've got moving averages, easy to find again under the indicators tab there. I've got on here a 50, a 20 and a 10. You could maybe use the 50 as a trend direction. If the price is above, you know, it's bullish, below, bearish. Now what you will also notice that the pink line there, the faster moving average, let's just clear off some of the noise there. Let's just hide those moving averages there, and just go into the settings. Again, you can create an offset. Let's just get rid of the offset at the moment. I've got it set to 5 actually there. You can see how you could maybe use this as a timing indicator to get in and out of in combination with other moving averages. Look, we got the cross, you know, when that average goes through the block, it changes direction, and you know, it's just another idea for you, to put in combination with other stuff. We've given you 8 different types of tool here to create strategies that can be breakouts, reversals, trend following, day trading, scalping, whatever. Go away and play with these different 8, put them together, test them, see what you come up with. Let me know in those comments if you come up with some useful strategies around it. But if you want to see some of the ideas that I've got in more detail, again, hit the channel and the different playlists, strategy ideas that I've thrown out there already. So there you go, 8 indicators to use with Renko charts. Hope you found that useful. Like I said right at the start, if you've got other combinations you put together, why not share them with us in the comments below this video. It'd be very interesting to see what you use and what success you've been having with Renko in combination with other indicators. Now, don't forget, like I also said, there is that playlist on the channel, Renko playlist. It will take you from the basics of Renko to what we've seen today, adding these indicators in, creating strategies of your own, how to take your trading to the next level. Plus, also, please explore all the other content, loads out there for you. So that leads me to say, please, if you've liked the video, give us the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell buttons for notification of any other content that I will be producing. And all that's left for me to say is, good luck with the trading into the new year. And please get in touch, leave your thoughts and comments on the content we're producing, and any ideas you have for me going forward, I'll consider and see if I can turn them into a video. Now, link to that playlist on the Renko charts coming up right now.